Oh yeah, we better put that on. Huh?
Yeah, time to buckle up.
Don't worry about it reporting us.
Hey, LifeSongs fam. It's Josh and Vance, and we're going for a little drive on this Veterans Day. Hope you can hear us. I'll respond to messages after we're done because I can't reach the phone while we're talking. We're just going to cruise around and talk a little bit about Vance's service and about veterans issues, and just want to say again to everyone who has served or who is serving, we are thankful and grateful for you immensely. We have a debt for you that we can never pay, and we are thankful. Vance, thank you.
Thank you.
So Vance, tell us a little bit about your service. When and where did you serve?
Wow. Well, I did a total of 8 years, and then I did 4 years inactive reserves. Not that that's a big deal, but it's still part of my service. I was stationed, I got lucky. I went into the military, went into boot camp. I was going in to be in Spec War, do SEAL team stuff. And I actually got told that I was colorblind and I couldn't do that. So I was like, what am I doing? Well, they offered me a position to go into what's called the Beach Masters. So I went to boot camp, and then I spent my entire 8 years at the same command. Luckily, with spec warfare and those things, you don't have to move around all the time. You stay with your command. So I stayed in Virginia Beach, in not the Norfolk. I was on Little Creek Amphib base in Virginia Beach. So not the big Norfolk base in Virginia, but the smaller amphibious base. Cool.
So Beachmaster.
That's what I was. Sounds a lot cooler than it really is.
Yeah, it sounds very Baywatchy.
Yeah, no, not so much. It was the idea of what Beachmasters are is they're the wave of troops that would go into a foreign country and set up a perimeter defense so that we can bring in Marines in case of wartime. So we basically were the comm to shore-to-ship communications. We're the comms for that. And we set up a perimeter defense so that we can bring in our Marines without them getting hurt, to allow them to establish what they needed to go inland and do whatever they needed to do.
Out of all the Veterans Day specials that are out there, what's the one that gets you most excited?
Applebee's.
Applebee's?
Free meal, man. It's a free meal, and it's not like a part of a meal. A lot of places, and listen, I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but a lot of places have you get a free dessert or a free appetizer. Applebee's, full-blown treatment. They treat you well, and I'm definitely going there tonight with the wife.
Nice.
So it's happening.
Enjoy it, man. You definitely deserve it. We've talked about this at length privately. I figured it would be a cool opportunity for you to share. You've gotten some new ink on your arms recently.
Yeah.
That in particular have to deal with issues of mental health amongst veterans. I know that you have lost dear friends and people you have served with to mental health issues and suicide, and these are really epidemic proportions when it comes to our veterans.
Yeah.
Speak to that.
Well, when I decided to get the tattoos and things like that, like you said, it's always been on my heart. I have lost several friends too. They've taken their own life based upon experiences or things that they had that they couldn't deal with, or even something they've just seen. The best message I can tell everyone is, if there's a veteran out there and they're being quiet, make them talk.
Yeah.
The quiet part of it is the part that's the silent part that really is. That's how you know they're being affected. But it means a lot to me. That is why I got the tattoos. Just anytime we lose a veteran, whether it's through war, whether they take their own life, or whether they're just captured and we don't know where they are, those things mean a lot to me. And if you see a vet, thank them for what they've done so they can be recognized, no matter what it was they did in the military. It doesn't matter if they were the frontline guys or somebody writing papers or playing in a band, in a Navy band, a Marine Corps band. Thank them for what they did. So
awesome. If you're just tuning in with us, it's Josh and Vance. We're going on a little drive. We'll try to talk loud so you can hear us over the noise of the car, which is still a very quiet cat.
No, it's
shooting
fine.
Down your car. Just trying to speak. It's Veterans Day. Vance is a veteran himself, Navy. Yes?
Yes, sir. Navy vet.
And we just want to say thanks again to all of our veterans. And go ahead and tag your veterans on this post. Share this video with people. Let them know that we care about them, we love them, want to make sure they're connected. You have spent an enormous amount of time in this past year at the VA.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Shout out to the people at the VA who have made your life easier, and call out the ones who have made it hard.
Not going to do that, but I will say the same thing. Shout out to the VA. The VA has been super overhauled. It's a really easy place to go to and get the help you need, or medical help you need. Anything you need is there, and everyone there has a great attitude that hasn't always been like that in the past.
Yeah.
So amazing job to the New Orleans VA.
That's awesome. As you have grown older, you've been out of service for decades now.
Yeah.
As you've grown older and gained different perspectives on how you served and what you went through and the scary things that you dealt with, and you've come to terms with them, talk to the younger guys who are just going in, or if we've got parents watching now who have kids who have just joined the military. How do you speak peace over that? How do you encourage people that are starting that journey?
Well, first things first is to the parents. I know my parents were scared to death. I had never seen my father cry until he watched me get on a plane to leave to go to boot camp. First time ever. Just be supportive of them and know that they're doing something to serve this country so that we can all be safe. I mean, that's the key anyway, to be safe, you know? And for the ones that are going in, thank you. First off, thank you for going and sacrificing your life. And just know that...
And even if you don't die, you are sacrificing your life.
Yeah.
It is not about limb and life. It is about the one thing that we have that we can't get back is time.
Yeah.
And if you're giving so much of your life, it is a huge sacrifice.
It is, and there's going to be things that you're going to miss out on, but I can promise you this, and this is what's dear to my heart. This is why I have the tats. This is why I speak to veterans. This is some of the best times you will ever have in your life. You're going to learn life lessons that are going to help you succeed in life for the rest of your life. Once you either get out or whether you stay in and retire, it doesn't matter. This is going to be the moment in your life where you're going to realize who you are and become that person. I, unfortunately, didn't have Christ on my side as far as I was concerned because I didn't know him then. But those who know Christ now, it's going to be even better for you because it's going to allow you to shape your life into a way that is both positive, promising, and godlike. So, I thank you again for going in.
Can I ask you a challenging spiritual question?
Sure.
You are now a believer. You weren't when you were serving.
That's correct.
You've been following Jesus for a long time now.
Yes.
And does that ever put into different perspective what it is to serve? Like, how do you rectify, or how do you deal with internally the difficult things that you're commanded to do in light of following Jesus?
Wow, that's a put me on the spot question. I like it though.
Like, do you send people to the chaplain? Do you send people to the shrink? Do you, like, how do you, what are some practical things?
I think looking back now at my time in, there were several believers that were in my command. They were part of it, and they grouped together. And I thought that's probably one of the. Sorry, I had to drive.
Yeah, no.
That's
you
probably
focus on the road.
That was probably one of the most things that I overlooked. And now looking back, I kind of wish I would have been part of that too. Because obviously, when you're in the world, you do worldly things, and that group of people is so much larger in the military, the worldly people, versus people that know Christ. So I would say and visiting the chaplain and stuff is fine, but I think find your fellow Christians. There are plenty of them in there.
Yeah.
And that group of people is just going to be a good support system for you while you're in, for when you have to do things that you may not want to do or may not seem like it's biblical. That's going to be the way to help through that.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean,
that's a hard thing.
Yeah, it is.
There's no beating around the bush. There's no easy in or out there. It's just a hard thing.
No, absolutely. You know, I mean, at some point, if war happens, there's got a point where the trigger has to be pulled, and
yeah,
that's a hard thing to cope with. So again, stay close to your Christian buddies that are in.
Yeah, and we talk about brothers and sisters in Christ a lot in the church, but probably the necessity of that in the military, of having that relationship with not just someone you're serving with, but someone who understands the faith wrestle as well, is kind of crucial.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, looking back, I didn't really know what all that was about, and I probably was the guy who was like, those people are weird, but realize now that they had a closer bond, and even some of my buddies that I served with, you know, when we went to Afghanistan or Bahrain or Kuwait, when we were in war zones, those guys were so much closer than even we were as a unit.
Yeah.
So it was like a unit inside of the unit. It was great. And looking back, I wish I would have had that. You know, it would have been easier. Been a lot easier, actually. But anyway.
Let's say your son, Lil Vance, grows out of his love of video games.
Yeah.
And decides that he wants to enter into the military when he's 18, fresh out of high school, just like you did.
Yeah.
Wants to be like his dad. What do you tell him? What do you tell your son?
Well, I'm actually kind of encouraging him to go in and fly drones in the military.
That'd be cool.
I think he'd be great at it. I tell him, first off, no offense to any other branch out there, because I was a Navy, but I would tell him to go into the Air Force. Because he has the best job coming out. I would hope that he does that.
The Air Force, they have a reputation of being the smarty pants in the military forces.
Yeah, they do.
They're not the grunts. They're the
their life is a little bit easier. Not that it's easy at all. So Air Force guys, don't come at me. It just is a little bit easier. But I mean the sense of being proud of my son. Whether it's him deciding to go to a full-fledged college or go into the military, I'd be proud of him. But if he went into the military to follow my footsteps, it would be an honor.
BT Dubs, Little Vance, if you end up watching this, I can totally see you becoming an officer, like doing school and the military. Like, I think that you would excel at that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Look for that.
Thank you, Kelvin, for your kind words. We appreciate you. Thank you for everyone who's been hanging out and listening with us. This is just a conversation between buddies. I'm Josh. This is Vance, and Vance is our veteran at LifeSongs. Served in the Navy, and we're just kind of celebrating the hard work of all of our vets and having a conversation about the challenges and the joys of it all. And we appreciate your comments, your likes, and again, thank you to everyone who has served. What do you want to talk about, Vance? Like, what's something that's like right there on your heart when it comes to veterans and serving the men and women who have given up so much?
I said it a little while ago, I'll say it again. This is probably the most important thing to me is if you see a veteran or you know a veteran, take the time to thank them for what they did, or what they're doing, or what they're going to do. Even the kids that are in high school now, maybe in JROTC or something like that, and they want to pursue going into the military. I don't care what state our country's in, none of that matters.
Yeah.
The military is what keeps us safe from anything foreign and domestic. So thank them for doing that, and thank for all the service guys, like whether it's military or police or ambulance, any first responders at all, thank them all. But today especially, reach out to a veteran. There's a lot of veterans that are suffering, whether it's PTSD or anything. There's a lot that are just suffering every day. I thank God every day that I get to work at LifeSongs. I thank God every day that I still have a job. I thank God that I have an amazing family, and that helps me through what I've been through, because I don't know if I didn't have the support that I have from you guys thanking me all the time, and my wife and the kids.
And it's not lip service, you know that, right?
No, yeah, absolutely.
So very grateful.
And if I didn't have that, I don't know where I would be. You go out and you get told this entire time that you're, thank you for your service, thank you for going in the military, and then when you get out and somebody treats you horrible,
Yeah.
it hits you harder because you did this for them to be able to do that to you. So, on my
Which is
heart, always.
that's the double side of freedom.
Yeah.
You know, like people have the freedom to be jerks.
Yeah. So just my biggest thing today is take your time to think of veteran. You know, a lot of times people will write me on Memorial Day and thank me.
Do you correct them, or do you just let it slide?
Very politely, I let them know.
Yeah.
I appreciate your thanks for me being a veteran, and you can thank a veteran every day all you want, but today, take the time to thank a family member that has lost a loved one, because today's their day.
I have one of my best friends, Jeremy. He was in the Navy, then went to college, became an officer in the Army, still in the Army today. And I texted him this morning. I'm just like, I'm really glad to be celebrating you today and not in May.
Yeah.
So
That's huge. That's huge. So take the time today. That's the biggest message I can give. It sits with us so much more than even saying happy birthday, to be honest.
yeah,
Thanking a veteran on Veterans Day, a day that's put aside to honor those that have served so that we can still be a free country.
well, we're gonna wrap this conversation up. And Vance, thank you for being honest and willing to have this conversation.
Thanks for having me.
We love you. We're glad to have you in the LifeSongs family, and we do thank you for your service.
Thank you, brother.
You guys tag the people in your life who are in the service or are out of the service, and make sure that they know that you love them and you care for them. And happy Veterans Day again to all the veterans.
Happy Veterans Day.